This is the Orioles Postcast, your instant game reaction for the Baltimore Orioles. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Good evening, everyone. Hope you're doing well, safe and sound wherever you may be. This is the Baltimore Orioles Postcast. Coming up on 5:20 out on the East Coast tonight, we're talking about a 5-3 loss in walk-off fashion at the hands of the Chicago Cubs. The Baltimore Orioles drop the rubber game and lose the series 2-3 against the Chicago Cubs at the friendly confines. This is the Baltimore Orioles Postcast. My name is Luke Slabaugh, and I am with you here on the Locked On Podcast Network after every Baltimore Orioles game. If you're new to the community, if you're just tuning in from baseball YouTube, if you're watching on the replay or listening in your car, wherever you get your podcasts for free, we're available on demand. Go ahead, like, subscribe, comment. It benefits the greater Locked On Orioles show hosted by Connor Newcomb, who will be back with a new episode tomorrow. Go ahead, leave your comments. Let me know where you're watching from and your takeaways from this 5-3 loss. My main takeaway from these 3 games in Chicago is that this was a well-fought series. A team that lost some of its most experienced and valuable assets, Cedric Mullins, Ryan O'Hearn, Ramon Laureano, and bullpen arms as well, such as Andrew Kittredge, and Gregory Soto, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and Charlie Morton, played the Cubs down to the wire. And interim manager Tony Mansolino, who has an above 500 record since taking over for Brandon Hyde in May, pulled all the right strings and pushed all the right buttons and just came up a bit short. And as we work in reverse today, we'll start with the bottom of the ninth and left-hander Keegan Akin charged with getting this game into extra innings.
Time to reveal where the game was won or lost. It's the turning point.
And Keegan could not do that. Coming off his first save of 2025 last night, an outing which required more than 30 pitches to get through the Cubs, and he had to withstand a couple of walks surrendered as well. Interesting choice by Mansolino. However, it's a high-leverage situation. You likely want your most experienced reliever in. Not saying that Akin is the closer by default. It's probably closer by committee, as we've seen Corbin Martin throw in ninth inning, and we've seen Cade Stroud in late inning relief as well. Adley Rutschman moves from DH to catcher, and it starts out inauspiciously. Dansby Swanson hits a routine ground ball to Jordan Westburg. The throw is high from Westy. Kobe Mayo can't slap the tag down, and Swanson runs pretty well. So it's an E5, a runner on first, no outs. Lefty Keegan Akin on the bump. Craig Counsell, the manager for the Cubs, puts in Justin Turner to pinch hit for left-handed hitter Michael Busch. And it's a first pitch four-seam fastball. 93 miles an hour, middle. Turner's hunting it, and he hits it to left field, yanking it out of the park for a 2-run home run and a 5-3 final score as the Cubs walk off the Orioles. Mentioned Akin was an interesting choice. Grant Wolfram had been warming up in the bottom of the 8th as Cade Stroud was pitching an admirable 1-2-3 inning. It is part of his day. An inning and 2/3 for Stroud, and 5 outs recorded. Post-haste got out of a jam there in the 7th in relief of left-hander Dietrich Enns, in which he induced a double play. Really good stuff from Stroud, as his fastball's been playing, his curveball as well, some really good north-south dip on it. No drama from Stroud. His ERA is under 2. However, the Orioles pen can't get it done, and that's just the thinness of this team. It is not particularly deep as the bullpen is being reconstructed on the fly, and there's not a whole lot of bench depth either. However, what about an Orioles debut for the ages for one Ryan Noda? Who, you might ask? He was an afterthought, a last-minute mention in yesterday's episode as we celebrated that 4-3 win. Gunnar Henderson going yard with the Earl Weaver special 3-run bomb. Ryan Noda had been claimed off waivers from the Chicago White Sox, hitting .088. First baseman outfielder hybrid, broken with the Athletics a couple years ago, hit 16 home runs, and the power tool has always been there. He's always hit for some pop in the minor leagues. And so, General Manager Mike Elias sees fit to put Noda on the bench. He is added to the 40-man roster and comes up in the clutch. Top 9, right-hander Daniel Palencia, the de facto closer for the Cubs, falls behind on Colton Cowser, the leadoff man, 2-0, grooves him a fastball at the heart of the plate at 99 miles an hour. Cowser hits it to right field for a 2-base hit. And at this point, Dylan Carlson is up at the plate. All he's got to do is move Cowser over. First pitch fastball, his eyes light up. It's 101 miles an hour, and it is middle. Carlson puts good wood on it, but it's a liner right at Ian Happ, the left fielder. Not the best awareness. You got to get that runner over 90 feet or do something constructive. Take a pitch. But with Carlson lining out, it really did bring to the forefront the O's were handcuffed on the bench today. Tyler O'Neill is still sick. He's out with an illness, doesn't want to be around his teammates, which is good for him to not try to force the issue today. You got Luis Vazquez, where he's a glove first utility infielder. And prior to Ryan Noda standing in the on deck circle for Alex Jackson, the catcher, you didn't even know if he was in the park. Masson didn't show any shots of him during the game broadcast. Kobe Mayo strikes out looking at 102 miles an hour at the knees. And it does with 2 outs bring up Ryan Noda filling in for Jackson. Falls behind 0-1, looks at a slider middle, and then gets one hanging up and in at 91 miles an hour. He deposits a single to right field. Cowser scores from second, ties the game at 3. A 2-0 count on Jackson Holiday, the next batter. Noda steals second base. Takes note that Palencia is not looking over or making an attempt to hold him. Holiday would pop up to shortstop to end the inning, and that would be that. But the legend of Ryan Noda to tie up this game and extend it further for the Orioles, who frankly didn't have anything going on offense after the 4th inning. We'll talk about that a little bit after the break. Right-hander Brandon Young didn't have his best game. However, you could argue that he was robbed of the chance to put together his second consecutive quality start. Brandon Young did eventually settle down, and he deserved a lot better than what he got. And we'll talk about all that after this break. This is the Locked On Orioles postcast. Stick with us. Show's brought to you by 5-Hour Energy Transfusion. It brings the bold grape, ginger, and lime flavor to your favorite golf drink, minus the alcohol, into a quick and energizing shot. Some days on the course, you need that extra boost to stay sharp and energized. And for me, having lived all over, used to live next to a mini golf place, would occasionally go, and some days, you're on a date or you're with your best buds, you don't have it. And that's where transfusion comes in. 5-Hour Energy. It's not a real transfusion. It's the drink. It's the transfusion flavor. Golf's all about good times with good people. And this is 5-Hour Energy telling you to get some more good times. If you go to 5hourenergy.com today, that is the number 5 energy, 5hourenergy.com, you can use my promo code LOCKEDONGOLF to receive 20% off your order. The offer is only valid until September 30th on one order and cannot be used with other promotions. The code is not good on subscription orders. Whether you're meeting up with friends or trying to turn 18 holes into 36, get the energizing boost you need to power through. Order transfusion-flavored 5-Hour Energy shots today. Show is also brought to you by Gameday Hue. We've seen Gameday Hue in action. We love them. Gameday Hue makes clean, no-logo gear with team-inspired colorways for every pro and college fan base. Sorting through my things, I'm finding the classic orange and black. It's a good one. Would have loved to have worn it today to celebrate an Orioles win. It could eventually be the rally hat. But they've got a traditional fit with a little bit of a longer bill. I believe they call that the classic fit. And then this is the modern hat. And it's definitely worth adding to your collection. And there's one other thing I want to show you. Don't have the golf glove on me right now, but what I will show you is, let's say you're trying to gear up for football season. Let's say you're trying to gear up for Ravens football or whoever you like. Go to GamedayHue.com. You take a look at, oh my goodness. Oh, I had these on the background. My bad. I was trying to show you guys the gloves. Let me get these gloves, or these assets, mind you. If you've watched the show before, if you listened, you've known that it's a really good split shade premium leather glove. Here's what I'm talking about. White on the top, purple on the bottom. Look at that. Isn't that great? That's brought to you by Gameday Hue. I hope I've made my point clear. Right now, you can get 15% off with code MLB15 at GamedayHue.com. That's GamedayHue.com. The code even stacks on bundle deals, so now's the time to load up. Let your colors talk, because colors speak louder than words. That's GamedayHue.com, code MLB15.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Credit where credit is due. The Chicago Cubs are a very good team. Best run differential in baseball, stacked lineup 1 through 9. And for the first 2 games of this season, Orioles pitching did their darndest to limit the top of the order, 1 through 4, and didn't give up any damage to them. This was the only game today where Kyle Tucker was able to make a difference, Michael Busch as well. And so we saw Seiya Suzuki as well. Good at-bats from the top of the order. And Brandon Young does have something to do with that. He is a very hittable pitcher. And the Cubs are also one of the best with runners in scoring position. They finished today 3 for 9. Still got Pete Crow Armstrong to go 0 for 4 today with 3 strikeouts. But yeah, Busch with a hit and a run scored. Justin Turner, of course, pinch hitting for him. Tucker 2 for 3. Suzuki 2 for 3 with an RBI. This was the best game that the Cubs had at the top of the order. And yet, Brandon Young deserved a lot better because the offense fizzled out after the 4th. And most notably, the defense did not have his 6 in the bottom of the 1st. Very first batter that Young faces gets a pop fly off the bat of Michael Busch to right field. Jeremiah Jackson, 9th career game professionally, playing right field, and his 2nd in the big leagues. Good bat tool. We like Jeremiah Jackson a lot. A miscue, a missed catch, bounces off the top of the leather, and it's a 2-base hit by way of an error and a missed catch by Jeremiah. Dylan Carlson originally had a beat on that ball, and he's more of an experienced outfielder. He's got good range, and originally seemed like he was keying in on that and had made a call for it and then ceded to Jackson. Right field at Wrigley Field is an unenviable place to make your major league debut. Dozens, I would dare say hundreds of right fielders have struggled to make it work with the ivy, with the brick wall curving in. We're talking anywhere from Lou Brock to Milton Bradley to Jason Hayward to Jeremy Burnitz. All of these people struggled at one point or another getting situated with that right field area. And Camden's a very tough place to play right field as well. Ryan O'Hearn, of course, would admit to that. So this is not enviable, but it gets the game off on a rough start. Kyle Tucker, next pitch, sacrifices Busch over to third base on a bunt. And Seiya Suzuki gets a fastball out over the plate, deposits it to the right side. Good use, working the back end of the field. It's quickly a 1-0 ball game. Carson Kelly walks 1 out later, and with 2 outs, Ian Happ gets a hanging splitter. He hits it off the right field wall. Seiya scores. And a good makeup play by Jeremiah Jackson gets this ball off the bounce, relays to Jackson Holiday, who then throws to Austin Jackson. Carson Kelly, not the most fleet of foot, rounding third, trying to score and make it a 3-0 ball game. The throw beats him, and Austin Jackson slaps that tag on him. Incredible. I just Jackson to Jackson to Jackson. Alex Jackson, mind you. Austin Jackson played for the Tigers and the Cubs way back when. I think it was the 2015 Cubs team. Austin Jackson was there. Alex Jackson, excuse me. Jackson to Jackson to Jackson. And that got Brandon Young out of the inning. And from there, a methodical outing for Brandon Young. It was really, how do I put this? It was all about getting ahead with the four-seam fastball and then getting that out pitch, his splitter, to work well. And while he was getting up to 40 pitches after that second inning, gave up a couple of hits, you started to see the puzzle come together. Got 2 strikeouts on the splitter there in the bottom of the third, made Seiya Suzuki look silly, and Pete Crow Armstrong, PCA, the NL MVP front runner, got him out as well. Really good stuff. He retired then 8 in a row into the bottom of the 5th, got Dansby Swanson to strike out on 3 pitches, four-seam fastball, hitting 95 miles an hour on the black. Really good stuff. Walks Michael Busch, then gives up a single to Kyle Tucker, fastball low and into right field. Gets Suzuki to fly out on a hanging 2-1 splitter. Michael Busch advances to third. And then Tony Mansolino brings in Dietrich Enns, a left-hander, to make his Orioles debut against Pete Crow Armstrong, lefty on lefty matchup. PCA's hitting just over 200 against lefties, and he fans on a four-seam fastball with 2 strikes, high at 94 miles an hour, and Enns gets out of the inning. Young's final line is 4 2/3. 2 walks, none of which come around to score, 4 strikeouts. Neither of those 2 runs are earned. Just given how this game fell off and how it started, that inning started with an error. Young has no earned runs. Probably could have gone deeper than 80 pitches or could have made the most of 80 pitches beyond 4 innings. Probably pitched well enough to get a better outcome today. His 5.88 ERA is his lowest since breaking into the big leagues. And that was his 9th major league start. Let's talk about left-hander Dietrich Enns while we're at it. He originally surrendered the lead there. It was a 2-2 ball game at the time in the bottom of the 6th. A great diving play by Jordan Westberg on Ian Happ. An excellent diving play there in the bottom of the 6th. Westy moving to his glove side. Really enjoyed that. So there's 2 outs in the inning. Willie Castro singles. Then Nico Horner as well gets a hold of one, four-seam fastball high. It's up the middle, deflected off the glove of Jackson Holliday. Castro moves to third base. And then Dansby Swanson, righty against lefty, first pitch cutter, lines it up the middle to center field, made it a 3-2 ball game. But Enns got out of the inning, got Bush to strike out on a four-seam fastball on the black at 96, ending a really well-fought 7-pitch at-bat. The O's carry on. And tomorrow, they make the trip to the city of brotherly love. 6:45 first pitch on Masson against the Philadelphia Phillies. And it is an Orioles return. Left-hander Cade Povich has been announced as the Game 1 starter for a Monday night game against the Phillies. Povich is 2-5 with a 5.15 ERA. He has been hurt and out for more than a month. June 15th was his last outing against the Angels. His first game of the season working in relief. Had an opener, Scott Bluette, for him. And Povich went 3 2/3 scoreless, earned the win, an 11-2 win for the Orioles over the Angels at Camden Yards, part of that 3-game sweep that they had. So Povich against a starter, TBD. There are rumblings that Ryan Mountcastle will return, and I believe the other 2 starters in that series will be Dean Kramer and Trevor Rogers. I will double check on that. What does Rock Cabato of Masson Sports say? It was recorded pregame. Yep, Povich, Kramer, and Rogers. That'll be it for the Orioles in that 3-game set up in Philly. And that'll do it for us here on the Baltimore Orioles Postcast. I want to say thank you so much for joining us here on this Sunday evening. The final score tonight in walk-off fashion, the Chicago Cubs 5 and the Baltimore Orioles 3. Good night, stay safe, and I will see you right back here tomorrow night.